Alright, so I think that this film's just about going to wrap up all our summer action blockbusters, and it's going to do it with Brad Pitt. It's going to be interesting. Bullet Train is directed by David Leitch, and it stars Brad Pitt and a whole other assortment of phenomenal actors. And in this movie, an assassin played by Brad Pitt, who really just wants to get out of the business, he wants to become more of a peaceful person, is sent on another mission when he returns, but the one mission that he's on now that should be seemingly easy goes wrong when it turns out that something he has to recover, everyone is after on this train he's on. Assassins, conmen, you name it. This makes everything very difficult for him, and a complete insane chase begins to start. I was looking forward to this movie when I saw the first trailer for it, because I had just seen Lost City, which I really enjoyed a lot. It's one of my favorite movies that came out this year, so I was kind of, hyped by Brad Pitt's cameo in there. I saw this movie's trailer and was like, yes, that looks great. Now, the film is not as good as I thought it was going to be, but nevertheless, it was just a blast for me from start to finish. All the characters in here are so great. They all have their own distinct character and their own distinct quirky piece of insanity to them. Like, everyone here just seems like they were a little bit crazy. Brad Pitt's character's like crazy, but he's like the more level-headed crazy person. And everyone has these little ways of bouncing off each other. And I like that. It was a lot of fun. Everyone in here is completely dedicated to their role. They're giving excellent performances, and I had fun watching all of them. I think that, in particular, this film does a really great job of giving everyone enough screen time to feel fleshed out, and somehow gives everyone more than an inch. They're not just like the guy with the knife, and the guy with the scar, and the guy with the fuzzy hair. They have legitimate characters that you understand and get invested in. And if they want to make more of these movies or make spin-offs of some of these characters, I'd love that, because I pretty much loved everyone in this movie. It was just fun. The comedy really lands in here, and so does the action. I think that this is some beautiful looking action in this film. Very well choreographed until they worked very hard on it, and it pays off. And the comedy, it's the kind of comedy you expect from David Leitch. Like, if you've seen his films, you know what you're going to get. It's going to be ludicrous, self-aware, blunt comedy. And I'm in for that, and I wanted to see it. I like most of his movies, and this movie's no different. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. This movie's gorgeous to look at. It pops right off of the screen, and I love that it went for just more of this feel of just being fun. This is a popcorn film. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not supposed to make a lot of sense. It's meant to entertain you, and just leave the theater and be like, yeah, that was a lot of fun, which is what I can say I felt like after I left, because I genuinely was on like this little bubbly popcorn high after watching the movie. I think that the entire film is great. The end of the second act going to the third act is ludicrously insane, and I loved every second of it. And the soundtrack in here is great as well, which I think is worth mentioning, along with the gorgeous cinematography. It's just a fun film, and I enjoyed it. I do have a few negatives. This is one of those movies where everybody's double-crossing everyone and backstabbing everyone. There's a lot of moving parts going on. And because you do have so many characters involved, it can get to be a little confusing. And that, at times for me, was a little like, okay, no. This is too much. We need to just kind of narrow this down. But aside from that, I don't really have any major complaints about Bullet Train. Bullet Train, to me, was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think it's worth checking out if you just want to have some fun. Like, you don't really need to turn your brain on for this movie. It's pretty simple. There's a guy who needs to get something, and everyone's trying to get it from him. And that's the premise for the film. I think that for the performances, Brad Pitt, of course, is excellent in this movie. He does a phenomenal job. Aaron Taylor-Johnson is hilarious. Him and his partner, both in here, are these quirky weirdos. And I like them, but by far my favorite and standout performance of this movie is Bad Bunny. This guy's character is just nuts. He, legitimately no one understands why in the movie. He's just crazy, and I love it. He's just, really flashy, too, and it's just a lot of fun, and nothing he ever says makes any sense. I loved Bullet Train. I don't have really many complaints about it. The film is pretty fast, too. It goes in and out, and you're like, that was a good watch. I think it's tight, well edited, well made. Something you should go see. I'm going to give Bullet Train an 8 out of 10. So thank you guys as always so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.